All right, so first we're going to start off with Psalms 139 and verse 14. 139, Psalms chapter 139 and verse 14. It says, I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. And that, once again, it talks about the individuality of a person, which means that we all are created in the image of God, and we all have unique things about us that was given to us by God. So everybody is an individual. Now let's move on to the second one. Okay, we'll move on to the second one. Alrighty. Come on, where we at? Let's flip it. There we go. Now the second scripture would be Galatians. I'm sorry. Well, since we're here, we're gonna read this Romans chapter 12, verses 3-4, and it reads, "All right, for by grace, for by the grace given to me, I say to everyone among you, do not think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think with sober judgment, each according to the measure of faith that God has assigned." Okay, and what that's simply saying is don't think of yourself any higher than you should. Don't be doing too much, basically. You want to think you want to use sound judgment, you want to be level-headed. You want to stay grounded. You want to be down to earth. You want to operate in the realm of common sense. Now we're gonna move to 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verses 12-13. And it reads, let me see if you can see that. Chapter 10, verses 12, right here. Right here, it's okay. Say, all right. Not that we dare classify or compare ourselves with some of those who are. Let me see if I can get it on the camera. I'm sorry. Let me start over. Not that we dare to classify ourselves or compare ourselves with some of those who are commending themselves, but when they measure themselves by one another and compare themselves with one another, they are without understanding. Okay, so you don't want to compare. Once again, you don't want to compare yourself to another person. You want to stay in your own lane and be thankful for what God has blessed us with, right? That's what you want to do, and watch how God will be able to bless you from that standpoint. Now we got one more. We got Galatians chapter 6, verse 45. And that's going to be it. Now, chapter 6 and verses 4-5. Now, it says, but let each one test his own work, and then his reason to boast will be in himself alone and not in his neighbor. For each will have to bear his own load. And I think that one speaks for itself. The things that you work for in life will be the things that you get rewarded for. You won't have to worry about what's over on the other side of the fence if you work with your own hands and do what God has given you to do, and you have the ability. God bless you.